Ole'Pops here. You know, the older I get, the more I'm sure I just hate computers. I just can't seem to get a firm grasp on how they operate. Maybe it's you just can't teach an old dog new tricks. Reckon that's what it is. I'm smoking my Ghibli 645 KS. Enjoying some trout stream. You know, my dog can lick the food crumbs out of my keyboard and get a degree in something, and I can't get a firm grasp on spell check. I mean, I know it's important to have a good vocabulary, but if I could have gotten spell check to work the other day, it's been a while back. If I could have just gotten the words antidote and anecdote, one of my good friends would still be alive today. But I tell you what, folks were saying such nice things about him at his funeral. It made me sad to realize that I was going to miss my own by just a day or two. Still, some of my most productive computer memories or moments was when the website tells me that I have chosen a very strong password. And that Windows that keeps popping up that says, "Are you sure you want to do this? Okay," or "cancel." Sometimes I wish that would pop up in real life. I went shopping yesterday for a new computer. To see if someone could simplify things for me. You know, maybe dumb it down a little bit now that I mean, I guess it's been out for years, now that they got this for dummies thing going. But I thought they could sell me what I wanted in a package instead of all the things that I didn't need or didn't want. Just put the programs in there that I would use instead of all the, like I don't use Facebook, but it's on there. Is there a computer that they make nowadays that don't have, that they just put the stuff on there that you want? Anyway, what I'm getting at is that there's two words that you should be aware of when someone's trying to show you a computer or anything that they're trying to sell you? 2 words that you should be aware of and look out for. If somebody ever approaches you on the sales floor and they tell you that it defies description, well, you can pretty much be assured that they're going to give it a go. He spent 20 minutes longer telling me about it than he did showing it to me. I had a doctor's appointment with Dr. Robbie yesterday. Y'all remember Dr. Robbie? Y'all met her before. She's the one that diagnosed me with an antisocial behavioral disorder and sent me to a support group that never meets. Well, I was on my way to see her. Made a very important discovery. I'd heard it said before, but I never realized it was true until I was on my way to see her. And then it dawned on me that everybody driving slower than me was an idiot, and everyone driving faster than me was a maniac. Well, I discussed it with her. She didn't think it was too much to be concerned about. She asked me if I had anything else on my mind. I told her I'd gained a little bit of weight and I'd had a little trouble remembering 3 different things, names and faces, and I couldn't recall what the 3rd one was. Anyway, she said not to sweat it, and she upped the dosage on my water pill. She said these bouts of confusion, whenever they hit, just try my best to look as intelligent as possible. I don't know. On another note, did y'all know that human beings are the only animal that I know of that allow their young to come back home after they've left? Did you know that? Come back to their home after they've left home. Human beings. Only animal to do that. What brought this up was the other day I was mowing the yard. We'd had a lot of rain and it'd been pretty warm winter. and the grass had gotten kind of high. And I thought to myself that before spring finally come on, the grass was in some spots was almost knee high. I figured I'd better go on and get one mow in. Before the grass got too high. So I was trying to knock down the front yard. And I noticed a night or two before, when I walked the dogs, there was a couple of rabbits out in the front yard. And they wouldn't leave. They kept, of course, it ain't odd to find rabbits in my front yard, but generally when they see the dogs, they take off. But this night they didn't. They'd run from one spot to another in the yard. Of course, I've trained the dogs not to mess with them. But then they'd run back to this one spot where they were, And it never dawned on me. But the dogs would sniff around, they'd pee here, and the rabbits would run over here right quick. And then the dogs would go over here, and of course, Luca would poop. She's on a leash. Hagen, of course, he's voice command. He runs free in the yard. And these rabbits would always run 15, 20 feet away, and then they'd come back to this one spot. It never dawned on me that they'd had babies and made a nest. Well, the grass had gotten high. And when I went out there to cut it, I looked at the riding mower, and there was 2 flat tires on the riding mower. So I figured, all I'm going to do is knock it down a little bit. So I raised the deck on the push mower. And Friday afternoon, I pushed the height of it, and just knocked down the front yard. And as I was pushing it, I ran right over the top of this rabbit nest. And I saw, when I did it, I saw it. And it blew the grass, and as I walked over it, I saw the nest. And it blew that little top bed of hair off. And I looked down and I seen them babies. And I just thanked the Lord at the time that I had raised that deck, because it did not hit them babies. But I took me a stick and I raked all that hair back, and I kind of patted it back down. Later on that night, I went back out there, and I noticed that they had been dug back down deeper, and they'd been fluffed back in. So she had been back to that nest. I took the dogs out that night. She wasn't nowhere near it, but you could hear her raising hell in the bushes. I mean, I hope she's got sense enough, because she ain't, but she's put that nest about 5 feet from the road. But like I said, the grass at the time was about almost knee high. But I hope she's got sense enough to when they get able to move, that she's got sense enough to move them and put them up near the house out of them bushes. I mean, it's not like I'm afraid they're going to get hit or anything. I just don't want them to be there when it happens. I mean, I ain't got a vested interest in them or anything. I mean, I don't want to start caring or anything. I mean, it's just a small world and all. I wouldn't want to try to paint it or anything. I mean, every living creature what don't eat their young cares about their young. I mean, what mother doesn't want their children to do well? I mean, every old hen thinks their eggs are the chickest. I mean, my mother always said that. Every child deserves a chance to do well, don't you think? I mean, when I was a kid, I always wanted to grow up to be somebody. Didn't you? I always wanted to. Maybe I should have been a little more specific, but I've told y'all that Ole'Pops have been doing a lot of reading lately. I want to introduce y'all to another book. It's called An Embarrassment of Riches, and it's by a guy named James Howard Kunstler. It's used. It came out the same year as the last one I introduced y'all to, 1985. This guy's from Boston. It's a comedy novel. It's about this old adventurer. He's an anthropologist and his nephew who go on search of the giant sloth for Thomas Jefferson. And they get into all kinds of trouble on their adventures. And anyway, that's all I'm going to give you. But I've read it before, and it was always one of my favorite books, and I found it for actually Minnie. She knew it was one of my favorite books, Gracie, and she found it for me and picked it up off of eBay for me. And he's a good writer. He's a very good writer. I enjoy his stuff. But it's Embarrassment of Riches. If y'all get an opportunity to pick this book up, y'all get this one. Anyway, y'all pick up a good book and read it today. It's you'll be glad you did. Minnie's been talking to me and Jill about wanting to save up her money and send me and Jilly darling on a vacation. A once-in-a-lifetime vacation, she's been saying. I think she's got ulterior motives. I think she's wanting us out of the house for something. What do y'all think? She keeps trying to tell us we deserve it. Hey, look right there. I want y'all to meet somebody. This is Boo. This is his new eye. We put a new eye on him not too long ago, and this is his 100 years 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 state pen, 100-year state pen from Alaska. This little fella is be 61 years old in August. He was given to me by my mother's uncle when I was a baby. I've had him for 61 years. Well, I will have in August. I will have had him for 61 years. And I've had this little guy longer than I've had anything that I can think of, except a birthmark. Anyway, just happened to look over my shoulder and there he was. Anyway, she keeps trying to send us on this vacation. She keeps telling us that we deserve it. She said, y'all have had a good life and you deserve it. I told her, I said, yeah, I've got arthritis too and I don't deserve it. Anyway. I keep telling her arthritis didn't cost the money that a vacation would. She said, money's not the key to happiness. I keep telling her if I had the money that that vacation would cost, I could probably buy a key. She asked me where I wanted to go. I told her, I said, just save your money and we'll just stay right here. She said, but think about all the places you could go. And I told her, listen, I said, sweetheart, if our founding fathers gave a flying flip about any of those places I could go, they wouldn't have declared independence from them. Anyway, I don't understand her. I don't understand her. I don't get it. Not for a minute. Anyway, I had lunch today with a dear old friend, somebody I'd known for several years, 43 years to be exact. We graduated high school together 43 years ago this coming spring. He wanted to have lunch and play golf at a country club. Last time I was in a country club, it was a quart bottle of malt liquor. I remember the last time I was in a country club was in the early 80s. I played a wedding. Played music at a wedding, and there was a catered meal where the waiter tried to drop a napkin in my lap. I reached out and caught his arm and said, no, no, no. I told him, I said, pardon me, garçon, but I believe in myself. Turns out, though, I believe he wanted to. His plan was to go golfing, and I got this theory about golfing. If you know you got to go get that little white ball, why would you whack it so far the first time off the tee? I remember the last time I went golfing. I was gonna try to shoot my age, and I ended up shooting my weight. Anyway, I got a phone call yesterday, and I talked to another YTPC member about this. This venture was supposed to take place today, and I told him I thought it was supposed to be bad news. It turns out I was right. Got up this morning, and it was snowing here, and it wasn't any kind of weather to go golfing in. So when he showed up over here to pick me up, he had a little bottle of Maker's Mark with him. And he come in, and we went to my office, and instead of going golfing, we went to my office and played darts. Drank that little bottle of Maker's Mark. I thought about, for a while now, being on the wagon. But the wagon wasn't doing him no good. Wasn't going anywhere for him. I'll get back on it when he gets off. Till then, we'll do things his way. But we sat here and had us some nice long talk. Reminisced and caught up. Anyway, it's International Pipe Smoking Day. I just wanted to check in with y'all. Let y'all know I'm still here. Let y'all know that I'm still thinking of you. I'm Ole'Pops.